So dito tayo sa parts of a memorandum. So as I've discussed last time, um, yung kung ano ang memorandum, ano yung purpose niya, and other um, things that you should know about a memorandum, specifically a police memorandum. So ito naman yung parts niya. We have heading, body, complementary ending, signature, enclosures, copy furnished, other offices. Okay, so yung heading is number one. All the materials above the first line of the body comprises the heading. So if this is the body, lahat ng nasa taas niya is part of the heading. So this are the office origin, kaninong or saang opisina galing yung letter or yung memorandum na yun. Address, file reference, dahil lahat ng mga memorandum na lumalabas, merong mga reference number para kumbaga mas madali silang locate. And identifying initials, date, subject, kung ano yung pinag-uusapan doon sa memo na yon or kung tungkol saan yung memo na yon. Through channels through which the communication will pass as the case may be. Siguro kung nakakita na kayo ng ibang memo or ibang letters, for example, yung head, sabihin natin president ng school, tapos nakalagay through a vice president for academic affairs. Yun yung tinutukoy dyan na through. So, ibig sabihin, dadaan yun sa VPAA. Yung letter na yun sa example natin. Okay. And the addressee to whom the memorandum is sent. Kung sino yung tatanggap ng memo or kung para kanino yung memo. Andun din siya sa heading. Okay. So, it consists of the following: letterhead, kung police yan, Republic of the Philippines, Department of Interior and Local Government, Philippine National Police, um, for example, General Headquarters, mga ganun. So, yun. File reference, identifying initials, addressee, intern addressee, attention line. May mga memo na naglalagay pa ng attention. As in, nakalagay doon, attention. Ibig sabihin, yun yung mga taong kailangan malaman talaga yung laman ng memo. Okay. Sender or originator, subject, and the date. So the letterhead is, printed letterhead stationery is normally used for the first page. If not available, a typed letterhead may be a substitute. Each police office or unit has its own letterhead. In offices where more than one kind of letterhead is used, the nature of the letter will determine which letterhead is proper. All courtesy carbon copies are made on plain bond paper. Okay. Pag sinabi kasing letterhead, balikan natin. Sabi, printed letterhead stationery is normally used for the first page. Ibig sabihin, meron ng readily available na letterhead. Yun yung gagamitin mong pang first page. Then yung mga succeeding pages, plain bond paper lang yun. Kapag piniprint mo na. Yun. So, ito ang laman niya. Yun nga, Republic of the Philippines. Ayun pala, National Police Commission. Philippine National Police. Tapos kung dito yan sa Angeles, Angeles City Police Office. Then the address, Angeles City. File reference naman, it is otherwise called the office symbol. A file reference is placed at the first margin, usually 2 spaces below the letterhead. You take note of the spaces kasi kasama yan. Kasi nga, technical writing ito. So, it's very specific for the purpose. It varies according to the individual item of correspondence. Each part of the reference was also used as identifying information on the second and subsequent pages. So, for example, CCPS-IN. Then we have identifying initials. Some offices place the surname or the initials of their originator and the typist of the letter. This practice varies because of the individual who dictated the correspondence, and those of the typist are placed in the upper extreme right corner on the first page of all copies or on the file copies, depending on the instructions issued by the chief or supervisor. In large installations, the telephone numbers of the originator may be added. Katulad nitong nasa baba. Yan, identifying initials. So, alam mo na kung saan opisina na galing yung memo base pa lang dito sa identifying initials. Okay. Addressee. The addressee preceded by Memorandum 4 or Memorandum 2 will be written in block style. Familiar naman siguro kayo sa block. Para siyang justified. Siguro naman, nagko-computer kayo, di ba? Justified siya, pero walang indention. Yun yung block type. Okay. With open punctuation and normally placed after the file reference. The memorandum will be addressed to the police office. The title will not be abbreviated in either complete or brief addresses. So, for example, Memorandum 4, Provincial Director, PPPO. Ayan. Itong tinutukoy dyan, Memorandum 4 or Memorandum 2. Ginagamit ang 4 kapag mas mataas sa'yo ang pagbibigyan mo ng memo. Kapag mas mababa naman sa'yo o kaya karanggo mo, Memorandum 2. So unless the correspondence pertains to an individual personally, the name of the individual will not be used in the address of a memorandum form. So, yun lang yung pagkakataon na ilalagay mo yung pangalan kapag specific lang yung memo para sa iisang tao. So when it is necessary, however, to address correspondence to an individual by name, his grade, first name, middle name, and last name are indicated in that order. His badge number and branch of service may be shown if it is shown and considered necessary for identification. So yung tinutukoy dyan na branch of service pertains to the military because in the PNP, wala namang ganun. Walang branch of service doon. So sa military, merong Air Force, Army, and Navy. Ayan. Okay, intern addressee. So when letters are routed to several addresses, pag sinabi nating route, dinaan. So when letters are routed to several addresses, kapag dinaan siya sa iba't ibang mga address, the entire address of each office will be placed on a single line as much as possible. An on-skin copy will be made for each addressee who withdraws the copy prior to dispatching the letters to the addressee. The copy for each addressee will be identified by a check mark of the carbon copy by his address. So, yan. So, when the same letter is intended for several addresses, the entire address of each will be placed on single line if possible. The copy for each specific address will be indicated by a check mark. Ayan. So, kung madami sila, isang linya, isang tao lang. Pero kung, ayan, pwedeng ganito, provincial directors, pinagsama na. Attention line, ito na yung naglalagay ka ng ATTN, attention. Ibig sabihin yun nga, tinatawag mo yung attention nila. To speed routing, correspondence may be addressed to the attention of an individual or the head of a subdivision or by the use of an office symbol. The name will be used only when there is a special reason for calling the letter to the attention of the individual known that he will be at the place addressed. Okay. Address to the attention of an organic member. Examples ng attention line. Address to the attention of an organic member of the police office or unit. So, memorandum. Chief of Police, CCPS, attention, SPO4, 1S de la Cruz. Cruz pala. So, yun, naka-attention siya. Ibig sabihin, para talaga kay SPO4 Cruz yun. And then another example is that address to the attention of the head of office, agency, or installation. So, example, memorandum to Chief of Police, CCPS, basically, para sa Chief ng Operations and Plans Section. Number 3, address to the attention of the head of unit or command by the use of office symbol. So, memorandum to the Chief of Police, CCPS, attention, SIIS. Yan. And then, kasama rin sa heading, ang sender or originator, of course. Ano niya malalaman kung galing kanino yung memo, di ba? So, the sender or originator preceded by the word from will be written in block style with open punctuation and normally will be placed below the addressee. So, to from, magkasunod siya. The designation or title of the sender and the office symbol herein, the communication originated is written to inform the addressee to whom the report came from or originated. The subject line should contain words not exceeding 10. It starts 2 spaces below the sender and 2 to the colon. All are written in capital letters. So when the subject extends 2 lines, the second line is blocked under the first letter of the first word in the subject. So the subject, special report on homicide at Barangay de La Paz Norte, City of San Fernando. Yan yung subject. Kumbaga, yun na yung summary kung tungkol saan yung report. Yan na, special report on homicide, pati specific location kung saan nangyari, andyan na rin. Okay? Tandaan nyo yung format ha. Sabi, when the subject extends 2 lines, katulad nito, the second line is blocked under the first letter of the first word in the subject. So this is the first letter of the first word sa subject. So ilalagay mo siya doon. Itatapat mo siya. Okay, hindi dito ang lagay. Okay, dito siya, katapat ng first letter ng first word. Then date. Oh, syempre. This refers to the date of signature. Okay, number 2 is the body. So the body of the letter is the message itself. Kung yung nilalaman nung mismong dito, memo. Yun yung body. So it is the substance of the typed letter as distinct from the formal beginning and ending. This part of the letter is single-spaced except when it is less than 9 lines and no reply was expected. So, in which case, it may be double-spaced. Alam niyo naman siguro yung spacing, di ba? Basta kapag mahaba yung letter, single space. Pero kung less than 9 lines lang, 8 lines lang. Kung 8 lines lang, then pwede mo siyang i-double space. So, double spacing will always be used between paragraphs. Kung madaming paragraphs, double space ka doon. Sa mismong paragraph lang ha. The first line of the body of the police correspondence begins 2 spaces on the heavy line drawn 2 spaces below. Then, paragraphing is part of body ha. When a letter consists of only one paragraph, the paragraph will not be numbered. Kasi nga naman, kung isa lang, bakit mo palalagyan ng number 1? Kasi kadalasan, di ba, pag may number 1, may kasunod, may number 2. Yang dapat, di ba, only 1. Hindi pwedeng, you are my number 1. Kasi pag ganon, may number 2. Kuha nyo yun, ha? So, yun. Pag isa lang ang paragraph, you don't have to number it. But if you have several paragraphs, then you have to number it. Okay. Saan ako? When a letter consists of only one paragraph, the paragraph will not be numbered, although its subparagraphs will be lettered A, B, C if there are 2 or more. But again, kung isa lang, huwag mo nang lalagyan ng letter. Maglagay ka lang ng indention. Subparagraph lang siya. When there are 2 or more paragraphs, they will be numbered consecutively. The first line of the paragraph will be indented 5 bar spaces. Bar spaces as in yung space sa computer ninyo. 5 space na ganun. The second paragraph lines will begin at the left margin. Subparagraphs must be at least 2. So for example, if there is 1, yun na nga, kailangan merong 2. First subdivisions will be designated by letters A, B, C, and so on. The first line will be indented so that the designating letters appear directly under the first letter of the first word in the main paragraph. So, for example, um, tawag dito. Diba, 1 is heading, 2 is body. Sabihin natin, gagawa natin siya ng memo. Kung nandito ang heading, number 1, yung parts niya, nandito. Kasunod niya. Ito. Ito pala eh. Number 2, body. Kunyari, madaming nakalagay dito, no? Then, yung sub-paragraph niya is paragraphing, letter A. Tama to. Ilalagay mo yung A sa tapat ng first letter ng uh, first word ng paragraph. Okay? And the first line will be indented so that the designating letters appear directly under the first letter of the first word in the main paragraph. Second subdivisions of paragraphs will be designated by numbers and parentheses, 1, 2, and so on. If necessary, additional subdivisions will be designated by numbers underscored. The first line of these subdivisions will be indented. Second and succeeding lines will begin at the left margin. Then abbreviations. A memorandum allows abbreviations which are generally accepted in the police service. So they are usually written without spacing or periods, except geographical locations which can written with or without periods. Katulad nito. So OPNS is operations. PSUP is police superintendent. Information. Yan, pwedeng mag-abbreviate. Kasi police technical report naman siya, ang babasa nun, police din. So, yung mga police din na babasa, gets naman nila to, kaya pwede mo siyang gamitin. Okay. Page numbering. The first page should not be numbered. Subsequent pages, including those on which endorsement are prepared, will be numbered consecutively, beginning with the second page as 2. So page number will be centered 1 inch from the bottom of the page. The number will stand by itself and it will not be set off by dashes, parentheses, or other punctuations. Then we have reference. Reference to publication. Reference to publication must be specific and fully implemented. References will not be made to a publication or document which is not available to the addresses of the correspondence. Reference to correspondence will include the type of correspondence, file reference, office origin, data, and subject. Yun yung part ng reference. Okay, so example, spot report dated September 1, 2016 on robbery with homicide transpired at Barangay de la Paz Norte, City of San Fernando. Yan yun. Dividing a paragraph. So 3 or fewer lines will not be divided between pages. At least 2 lines of a divided paragraph will appear on each page. In dividing a sentence between pages, at least 2 words will appear in each page. The word will not be divided in 2 pages. The complementary ending will not appear alone on a page of a body or text of communication. Okay? So, hindi pwedeng maghati ng word. Kailangan buo siya kapag lilipat na sa sunod na page. So when the space below the text is sufficient for the close, at least 2 lines of the last paragraph or subparagraph, which in its entirety consists of only 1 line, may be placed on the last page together with the complementary ending. Kumbaga, kung may space pa at isang line na lang ang natitira doon sa baba, pwede mo na siyang ilipat sa sunod na page para kasama niya yung signature. Okay. On the second and each succeeding pages, the file reference and the subject will be typed beginning at the left margin, 1.25 inch from the top of the page. The text will be continued on the second line below the identification line. And then number three na part ng memorandum is the complementary ending. So this is the closing portion in a memorandum. So this refers to the material found below the last paragraph of the body. It consists of the authority line if used, signature, list of list of enclosures, list of copies furnished to other agencies. So ilalagay mo lahat yan or part yan ng complementary ending. So, an authority line, yung binabanggit dito, ito, authority line if used. So, an authority line will be shown when the correspondence is signed for the head of an agency by an individual authorized to do so. For example, ang dapat talagang pumirma sa memo, for example, Dean. Pero dahil wala si Dean, ang nasa authority line is ang pipirma na lang doon sa document ay ang assistant dean. So, si assistant dean ang nasa authority line. Siya yung pipirma. Okay. This reflects the fact that the communication is an expression of the will of the chief himself. Para daw maintindihan na yung memo ay hindi lang gusto ng assistant dean. Kumbaga, utos talaga o kagustuhan talaga yun ng dean. Wala lang siya kaya pinirma niya sa iba. Yun. The authority line will begin on the second line below the last paragraph, directly under the first word of the preceding main paragraph. It is typed in capital letters without abbreviation. Katulad yan. So, if signing for a chief or head of office and addressed to a member under him, as in, ayan, by authority of Police Superintendent Cruz, yun yung chief niya. Yun yung kumbaga siya yung dean, siya yung boss. So, ito yung, pero ang pipirma, ito si Pedro Cruz Santos. Police Chief Inspector, Deputy Chief of Police. Ayan. Pero kung yung memo ay naka-address sa mas mataas o ang pagbibigyan ng memo ay ano ba to? If not addressed to a member under him, ibig sabihin nga, mas mataas sa kanya. So, yung paggalang natin for the Chief of Police. Yun, Pedro Cruz Santos. Pero kung mas mababa, ang ranggo ng pagbibigyan mo ng memo, ito, by authority of ganito. Tapos pipirma ka. Then we have signature. So, of course, this contains the name of the officer, usually first name, middle initial, and last name. Signed in blue or black ink. Never in any other color. So, the name, never in any other color yan ah. The name being typed, stamped, or printed all in capital letters identical with the written name, the officer's rank or service, and title designation. So if the concerned chief or head of office personally signed the memorandum, his title or designation will not be anymore included. So katulad nito, hindi mo na siya ilalagyan ng P. Juan Santos Cruz. Ilalagay mo yung rank sa baba. Katulad nito. It is written in all capital letters and middle name may be spelled out or not depending on the writer. So pwedeng S. Cruz lang yan or pwedeng buo na ganyan. The use of double signature is avoided. Instead, a designated individual may sign his own name and add the word for or by in front of the typewritten name in the signature. If an individual in the police service signs for or by, the rank and the designation of the signing individual may be shown. The typewritten portion of the signature begins approximately one space to the right of the center of 5 lines below the authority line of the body. Doon na, tandaan nyo yung mga spacing na yan, tandaan nyo yung mga lines na yan. Block style and open punctuations are used. Abbreviations of rank or service and title may be used. Then we have another part of the memorandum, enclosures. These are supplementary documents which are sent with the communication to provide additional information. Kumbaga, dagdag na documents para mas maintindihan kung ano yung sinasabi doon sa report or doon sa memorandum. When the letter has one or more enclosures, these are entered at the left side of the page in the following manner. So, enclosure 1, crime scene sketch. Enclosure 2, pictures of the crime scene. Yan. And then, another part of the memorandum is offices. Annotation concerning copy furnished will be typed immediately under and separated by at least one line from the listing of enclosures, if any. When there are no enclosures, notation of copies furnished will be typed beginning at the left margin on the same line as that of the typed signature. So the copy for each specific addressee will be indicated by a check mark. This information is omitted from the original and courtesy copy unless specifically desired by the individual preparing the letter. Ito yung examples. Copy furnish, RD, Regional Director, Police Regional Office. Ayan. Director, National Service Support Unit. Ayan.